Jeff Kirui, KTN News.
Now, the move by President William Ruto and Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga to embrace dialogue to resolve differences on national issues has received positive feedback, with leaders praising the two for the move, which they say will bring a state of peace and tranquility in the country. Grace Nganga with the details.
The decision by President William Ruto and Azimio la Umoja boss Raila Odinga resolving to find an amicable solution to address issues raised by Azimio seemed to be another big achievement in the country. For the past 2 weeks, there have been frantic calls for dialogue between the two political rivals to restore calm in the country that had escalated to protest twice a week. But following Sunday's unfolding, various leaders have come out to commend the two for what they called putting the country first. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, through his Twitter handle, said, and I quote, "I salute Honorable Raila Odinga for calling off demonstrations and violence and choosing to pursue his issues in Parliament in accordance with the Constitution and the law of Kenya. That is statesmanship," end of quote. The Council of Governors Chair Anne Waiguru said, and I quote, "I wish to congratulate His Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, for exercising reason and restraint and guiding our nation back to constitutionalism and public order. I also wish to thank Honorable Raila Odinga for halting the demonstrations and accepting," end of quote. National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and leaders from Rift Valley lauded the need for dialogue, saying it will give an opportunity for both parties to share ideas.
It's a welcome engagement that will also help to bring down the cost of living when leaders get together, share ideas, get to know who has a better idea than who, which ones can we incorporate, which ones can we improve, how do we improve them. And therefore this opportunity also gives us a very good opportunity for us to be able to engage.
It is in good spirit that we listen, and in case we can agree under the bipartisan model for us to be able to come up with the amendment to amend the section of selecting the IEBC panel, who will now select the commissioners that will now run the IEBC.
The Executive Secretary of the Intergovernmental Authority on Deployment, IGAD, Wakne Gebeyehu, also congratulated the two for settling on dialogue to resolve their differences, and I quote, "I congratulate His Excellency President William Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga for their readiness to engage in dialogue to resolve differences on national issues through peaceful means and preserve Kenya's unity and constitutional order. Hongera wa Kenya," end of quote. U.S. Ambassador to Kenya Meg Whitman also welcomed the move, saying, and I quote, "We welcome the agreement by President Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to establish a bipartisan process to find solutions that benefit all Kenyans. We commend both leaders for their commitment to peaceful dialogue and call on all parties to support this process," end of quote. However, although not quick to congratulate the recent move, some Azimio leaders say they will be watching whether there will be any change, promising to be back on the streets should dialogue not meet their demands. Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino said, and I quote, "These talks must not fail. My supporters and myself are more than ready for round 2. We have a permanent solution for tear gas for all our supporters. Containers already arrived and kept safely. Meanwhile, training continues," end of quote. On his part, Narok Senator Ledama Olekina tweeted, and I quote, "The cost of living must come down. All those who were killed or injured must be compensated to a tune of millions of shillings. Let the talks begin," end of quote. The National Church Council of Kenya Chairman Archbishop Timothy Ndabuki has also lauded them for giving dialogue a chance to resolve challenges facing the country.
Na hiyo ndio tulikuwa tunangojea kama raia wa Kenya. Rais atoe mwelekeo. Rais anyoshe mkono, awasikilize. Na kama vile alivyosema hata katika statement yake, Huwezi kuwa ni mtu wa kusema usikilizwe na huwezi kusikiliza wengine.
SUPKEM National Chair Hassan Olenado, through a statement, congratulated the two leaders, saying, and I quote, "We are humbled by the truce which we hope will blow a fresh gust of sobriety that is critical in having open discussions on diverging points of contention that were threatening to split the country apart." End of quote. Grace Nganga, KT News, Nairobi.